it's gross. Drags a bit. I was left meh.
I quite enjoyed it. It's not a perfect 5 out of 5. I am able to separate my pleasure from the pain.
That's not what I heard.
Welcome to Kyle and Dave versus the Machine Video Edition. This Friday, we are talking about the movie Dirty Harry. And I'm not going to bury the lead. Dave and I get into a bit of an argument in this episode.
It's because Kyle's a fascist.
Dave yeah. He only calls me a fascist. So that's where the tenor of the conversation starts. Dave, why are you so angry?
Well, this movie made me angry because it's gross. You know, I feel like it was. I was going to be in present tense, but we're not. I don't know. Past, present?
Past participle presenting? I don't know.
Are you past presenting? Yeah, I mean, I think Clint Eastwood's got the charisma. He's virile, tough, a badass cop who'll stop at nothing to get answers. But then once Scorpio, the evil psychopath, sociopath? What's the difference? I don't remember.
He is quote unquote crazy in this movie. Crazy
bad guy appears and it becomes this sick cartoon. It's hard to watch and the violence is so random. And I don't like to say, I don't think I shy away from violence, but this thing just gets way over the top, becomes almost essentially a horror movie. And by the end, I don't even know what the movie's about. It's too long. It drags a bit. And I was left meh. It was fine.
Well, I quite enjoyed it. I mean, it's not a perfect 5 out of 5 movie for me personally. I guess I am able to separate my pleasure from the pain.
That's not what I heard.
I don't know if that actually means anything. I was entertained. Yes, it is violent, and it is using violence in a very bold way. Even for the 70s, it would have been bold. You know, I didn't mention this during the episode, but I definitely have talked to this with Dave outside of the recordings. And I don't know if it's just...
We have a relationship outside of this podcast?
I know. We actually talk when we're not recording things. And I don't know if it's because, and this is going to sound like a really weird backstory thing for me, because I watched professional wrestling throughout the 90s pretty in depth, to see blood and dismemberment and that sort of thing, it just doesn't affect me, I think, in the same way that many people do. But violence is very rarely gets to a point where I'm like, ooh, like that's a bit too much for me to see. There's always this kind of like arm's length that I can view it in, and especially in this movie, when I think at the very beginning, Harry Callahan, the Dirty Harry of the title, is shown to be a kind of a superhero, the way that he can like flip cars over by doing 2 shots here and like having his like little fancy quips while he's chowing down on a hot dog. To me, it never felt like this is like real society that we're trying to examine here. It's like, this is this supposedly cool person going around doing stuff and making criminals pay. And so that's always the way that I was viewing this movie. But that's me.
I would be more willing to accept your viewpoint, Kyle, if you weren't wrong about it all the time.
This is so fundamentally and completely wrong.
No, I agree with you, particularly at the beginning, and it sets itself up as a cartoon. But I think where we argue is the use of violence for violence sake, or the characterization of evil that's just evil without any kind of backstory. We don't know anything about Scorpio. And as we learned, this is happening during the Zodiac killings, etc. So there is some reason for that. I mean, nobody understood why people were so violent. We only learned later that you don't huff lead, apparently. That's a big problem.
Yeah, weirdly enough, you shouldn't lick lead. So don't do that.
Look it up. That's a real thing. It actually was contributing to a violent society. I think as well we got more incensed because we brought on our friend Matt Mort, who's young,
very chipper and exuberant.
So
and
positive and sweet. Yeah. And he'd never watched this. So it was an interesting, I won't say foil. That's a little diminishing, but it was interesting to have him in that conversation where there's a lot of shrugging because you and I got very upset. We yelled. Kyle tried to talk about how this movie is fascist. I don't think we agreed on even what that term meant. So
all I know is that basically all superheroes are fascists, but does that make their films a fascist film? And we tried to answer that in relation to this movie, and you'll have to tune in to see if we ever came to a conclusion.
Yes, spoiler alert, we're not intelligent enough to have that conversation in public. We'll do it anyways.
One of us might not be, but you can discover which one is this Friday when we talk about Dirty Harry.
Which side of the screen will you be on? I'll point. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that we need to add to this? It was fine. If you want to watch it, go watch it. It's not terrible. possible. But
It is interesting though. Like I am at one end, you're at the other end, and Matt was right in the middle. So you can hear all three of those perspectives.
yeah, it's a good one. And as we're finding out with the 70s, Kyle and I are no longer movie buddies, so it's been fun to fight about it. Would you say that you're a Scorpio or a Harry? We forgot to ask that
Well,
question.
I hope I'd be more of a Harry. I kill because of virtue, not because of madness.
This is why you like the MCU so much.
I have to tell you, I think I told you this, Dave, because of my anxiety that I have in just normal life, getting that into a conversation and quote unquote yelling and vigorously fighting about something, even good naturedly, I slept for a good hour and a half after that episode because I crashed. It was so much I took out of me that I was like, I had to sleep.
We've been, what's the word? We've been becoming more and more incensed. Incense? Is that when we were burning?
It does smell nice. It does smell nice. Yeah.
It does. They can't smell us. It's YouTube.
Smell-o-vision.